So I just woke up. I'm walking down the steps and I hear Lil Ive say, "Can I have some? What are you eating?" And Ivan basically tells him he's eating Skittles and no, he can't have none.
Warning, warning, warning.
Now I take issue with that. I'm big on leading by example, and we need to have this conversation. If you can have Skittles at 11 o'clock in the morning, well, why can't he? Now, I'm not saying he should be able to eat Skittles. I would prefer that he didn't eat Skittles until after at least like lunch, you know what I mean? But I'm interested in knowing, why is it okay for you to sit in front of your kids, reading them a book, chewing on Skittles? I don't get it. Let's go ask the man himself.
Hey,
Hello there.
here's my thing. That's a fair question. Yes, I agree with Dell in that you should not model things for your kids that you don't want them to do. But I do feel like there are some instances where they can't do what adults do.
That is true.
And
There are a lot of instances.
like for example, why can't they have Vidal Skittalis at this hour?
AKA Skittles.
Why? I'm asking you.
Oh, because it's candy. Like
What's the problem?
I don't feel like it's appropriate to just be having candy at any hour of the day, be it morning or, well, especially in the morning. Like, I mean, they eat breakfast, which is, well, first breakfast, which is cereal. That's sweet, it has a lot of sugar. Oftentimes brunch is next, which is pancakes and sausage and potatoes. That's sugar too. Ultimately, it just, to me, it doesn't make sense to just continue to add sugar, because then it can become a habit. You know, it could become something that they expect. They're already big on just wanting what they want when they want it. So I don't want to start habits that just aren't good habits. For example, me, like, I'm not eating candy in the morning either, for pretty much the same reason. And you're a big snacker. You're a big junk food snacker, which you need to scale back on.
I do. I do it in moderation.
Why are
but,
you eating Skittles in the morning anyways?
But it's like,
Wait, have you eaten breakfast? Like, have you eaten anything?
I've had cereal. Do they put more sugar in cereal now than they did back when we were kids?
What does that mean?
Let
And
me
why can't we get
let
down
me
my-
talk to the people
why can't
real
we get
quick.
on my deviation?
Let me talk to the people real quick. Because when I was a kid, we had to put sugar in our cereal. So I wonder if we were just being savages or if the sugar level in cereal just wasn't that much.
My biggest thing is, like, you're like doing things in front of the kids and then telling them no, and then like there's no explanation. I don't want to be one of those parents that's like, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Because this is like the fourth or fifth time we've had this conversation.
I feel like you have your own ideas and principles that have shaped you. You have your blueprint, to quote Kevin on stage and Melissa from the Love Hour. And I feel like your blueprint wants you to be like, you want to be like anti what less than ideal parenting was. And I feel like you are balanced in that, but the principle that guides you is you you are more so, I feel like if it's like 50-50, you're more so like 60-40, 70-30 on the side of the principle dictating more often than not. And I'm more so like,
Not necessarily, because there's thought behind the principle. It's not just a principle just off the strength of it being a principle and so I'm just following it blindly.
no, I'm not saying that, but I feel like there is it's a strong pull. It's a stronger pull in you than it is in me. I understand the principle. I acknowledge the principle. I think the principle makes sense.
But
It's stronger for you. Like you just said, I don't want to be one of those parents who say, do as I say, not as I do. It's like,
Right.
I don't necessarily have that principle pulling me. I feel like I want to do what's best for the kids, and I do what's best or appropriate for me. And sometimes those
Well,
things don't match.
but
They're not the same.
eating junk food is not what's best for you. I feel like his standard is low when it comes to certain things. And I don't want that to, I guess, flow into the boys. You know, it's like I'd rather you like get better in this particular area. Yeah, I understand like the desire to have the freedom to be an adult. Like, absolutely. But I feel like we have to balance that freedom with, being responsible, with being an example.
So let me switch gears a little bit, because it's the same thing with like the game. Like I'm trying to complete certain levels for Lil Ive so he could have an easier time playing it. And I want to do that like now, but he can't play it until after his nap. But I feel like because I'm an adult, I can't do it when I want to do it, and I feel like I should be free to do it when I want to. But I understand that the example that's setting is bad for him in terms of the structure and things like that he needs. So it's like, I get it, you know what I mean? But it's just like sometimes as an adult, you want to be able to live in certain freedoms that you have as an adult without them kind of impacting your kids. Because I feel like it's okay to be flexible, but maybe it's not okay for him to be flexible right now with how his brain is being formed. Maybe he won't develop good habits. I don't know, but it's just like...
Yeah, like I'm actually okay with the idea of not having to restrict him so significantly, but because of how he's been handling, having to take breaks and so on and so forth, I feel like it's going to have to stay, restricted for a while until he can better understand, until he can better regulate his emotions, or, whatever he needs to do in order to be okay with, okay, if we give you 30 minutes, here's the timer. When 30 minutes is up, that's a wrap. I don't want to see no sad face and no crying and whining. Like, I don't want to see that. Like,
I don't mind the sad
like,
face.
how do
I
we
feel like
teach?
it's the crying that...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, see, I guess my desire is like, okay, cool, time is up. All right, move on to something else. You know what I mean? And when it's not that, it's like, okay, well, you don't, number one, like, how do we teach them gratitude and appreciation for the fact that we let you have 30 minutes, or that we let you have time to play the game?
I was actually talking with him about that yesterday. JoJo was sad because he gets sad now in the last day or so. He gets sad because of the show going off. It's not even us turning it off, but once the credits roll, he's like whining and crying, like he's sad. And so I was just telling them, like, y'all have to be thankful for this time. So instead of being sad, I mean, I'm just reiterating what Dal said, but I did that yesterday. I was trying to kind of instruct them to be thankful. I feel like at the end of the day, for the kind of parents that we are, very few things are irreparable. It's
I agree. If there's something that we don't want them to do, I'm willing to think about whether or not it's something we should be doing.
True.
Within reason, of course. Within reason. But anyways, what do y'all think?
Or what do y'all do?
Or what do you think? What do you do? What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Especially, what do you do? You know what I mean?
That's more important.
I'm definitely interested in what y'all
Be
do.
like, I think you should be able, but then you get sauced at 7. Dell has this preference where she feels like the kids need to eat all of their food before they have snacks. I don't share that point of view.